All right, Kenman here. The table is set. Dinner is served. The Kubey Phemius is on the plate. Let's dig in. Oh, you hear that motorcycle drive by? All right. Today's the day with the Kubey. We are going to take it apart and prep it for the die. If you've been watching for the die project, I have decided to start splitting it up into two different videos. So this is going to be die project number 12, part 1. And we're going to tear this Kubey Phemius down and get it ready for the die and talk about it a little bit, talk about some other stuff for the project, and see how it goes today. What's everyone think about this so far? So this is one of the ones I got that has this sand G10 or the kind of the tan color. So when we dye this, it's going to be significantly darker or more dull because that color is going to have an effect on the final dye color. They'll mix and end up as a combined new color. So let's tear this puppy down. All right, so looks like, oh, this is my new Weeha. In the last video, I did an unboxing and opened this up, but it was still in the package. We haven't actually used it yet, but we've got our T6 in there now. So we can start using this little thing for taking off some screws for our teardowns and put back together. So the pocket clip was the T6. I think everything else, these four are all T8s along with the pivot. So we'll switch over. And it is a captive pivot. So this one, the side does not spin. It has a nice KB on it. And then this side is the side you loosen. Last time I had one like this where there's a spacer with the two on the side, I completely took off one side and that made the spacer stick to the other side, so I couldn't get it loosened. So right now what I'm doing is trying to start loosen both sides before I actually do the tear down, so it should just loosen freely. We won't have that issue. Give the pivot just to loosen up a little bit. All right, it looks like we're ready to go here. That one is coming out. Let's make sure this one does too without the other one spinning, and we're good. All right, that was just a little bit of a hassle the way I did it before. Ended up just making it tough I had to make that spacer not twist. Come on, just that last little bit. Are you kidding me? All right. But yeah, I had to make the spacer not twist so that I could undo that other screw, and it was just giving me a hassle. And when you're on camera, trying to talk, doing something you haven't done before, it's like everything just starts falling apart. And then I make a longer, more uninteresting video, and everyone's just kind of sitting there like, what is this guy doing? Ugh. Or I feel there might be some people that tune in just to watch me suffer, watch me struggle a little, kind of get some joy out of watching someone else do a project and having them have the issues rather than you. All right, I got it's literally only 4 screws and the 2 spacers holding this together. I'm kind of pinching it together at the moment. We want to try to stay as tidy as possible so it's just easy when we put it back together. So we're very aware of all the knife parts and how everything needs to go. So it has the captive pivot on one side, and then this side is the free spinning side. So it's going to be fairly easy to tell when we put it back together, because the other side I'll show you in a second. A little oil on there. So then we've got a frame piece. We've got our blade. I'm just going to slide it off of there. And our other frame piece. There's the pivot. Pull that out. So I'm going to set that other bearing on there, and there's our 2 spacers. We've got the other piece of the frame and the other scale. The scale's got some slimy crap on there. All right, we are apart. I'll show you this here. We got the detent. So this is the side that's had the Kubey on it. And so you can see that little divot that's at the top, at the 12 o'clock spot right now on the circle. Right at the top, you see that little divot. And so that divot goes with this little notch right here, so that when it sits in this side, it pops in, and then that keeps this side from spinning. Therefore, you can tighten the other side without having to hold that side. It just keeps it solid. Any companies that are making them now that don't have a captive pivot, maybe they're trying to save a buck, but I feel like the cost to do that is just more, and spending that extra couple minutes in the design and just getting it right the way it should be, and just make it easier for everybody. But I have a few that don't have captive pivot, and they're still decent, so it's not like it's the end of the world. Yeah, here we are. Very simple knife, this Kubey Phemius. We got the 2 scales off now that we'll be ready to do the die. Like I said, they're pretty dark, so that is going to have an effect on what our final color is going to be. But yeah, really simple, not much to talk about with this one. You got your liner lock that's right there, that's hidden by the scale when it's back on there. It's got that little bend in it, and it's just such a simple. There's the blade stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and just pop that out, and I'll set that right there. But really, doesn't get much simpler than that. I'm going to shift this up and off. Move this here. It's going to be a little shorter kind of a video. See if we can kind of make these die videos. I was making some, they were just way too long. But maybe people like them that way. Let me know. Leave a comment below if you like them cut in half, or you like a one long video. This is the Sencut Watauga, whatever. Really neat, kind of aggressive style. It's a button lock. Haven't had it. I just did the opening on this one recently, but action on it is nice. I love that fuller tab to flip it out, and I am a button lock fan all day long. What color would you like to see that one? I also got this Artisan Cutlery Arroyo, which is just fantastic. What a fun little knife. This is my first Artisan Cutlery, but look at the shine that they did on this. Especially if you look on the back here, when I move it back and forth, look at how the light bounces off of that all over. It's like they just spent that extra time really polishing this thing up. And it doesn't seem like that it would make that much of a difference, but it really just, I don't know, it gives it this extra look that I really like it. This, I guess, clip point, I accidentally called this a drop point, I think, on the video. Yeah, I always notice that we watch a video back and you say something wrong, and yeah, I just roll with it. I try to go live or unedited. You can just see how it really is. Try not to fidget my words and get everything right the first time around. But you have these little mistakes here and there, and whatever, learn from it and go on. I really like this Artisan Cutlery knife, though. It's got a neat shape. It's thin, but that just that shine on the side. Got the CJRB Lago, another button lock that I'm pretty happy with. Really snappy, fun action on this. Got a neat shape. We've got that extra little red around the pivot right there, and the hardware and the pocket clip are all black. So that black in there, plus the silver on the button and the blade, and then you've got the red around there. What color are we going to do to kind of make all those? Because we're going to have the silver, we're going to have the black, we're going to have the red. What would be the color that would contrast or complement, if you will? I don't know. With that one right there, and that's got that sand, so whatever we do, it is going to be a little bit darker. We got this Kubey Phemius. Real fun little snappy little liner lock, but the only action it has is that the fuller hole, which is fine because it flips out really neat. This one is white. We are going to attempt a marble die, and we won't be heating the die like we've done in the other ones. It'll be a room temperature die that I'm going to mix with shaving cream and then make a pattern in that bed of shaving cream and dye, and then you'll push the scale into that and let it sit for a day or two. Because it's not hot, it takes longer. But in order to make a pattern and leave that pattern like that marble kind of swirl that we're going to do, you have to be creative. So it's like you make it with that shaving cream. It lets the pattern stay consistent. You can let it sit for a day, and then we'll see what we can get. What kind of marbly colors would you like me to try? All right, this is that, losing my brain, Grow budget yet beefy. It's got a D2 steel. It's got a G10 scale with this big G10 piece in the center of the spacer, I mean. What color would you like to see this? We can obviously pop off of that blue. I want to do a two-tone since we have the two scales and that big middle piece. We can do that middle piece, maybe matching the blue, and then try to do the scale something else. For a budget knife, this isn't bad. It's kind of fun. I don't know how much I'm going to do exploring the Grow brand, but if anybody does have anything from any company that they're interested in, they want me to see, let me know, and I might check them out. Same thing with the Sativian. It's actually a really nice little snappy, cheap knife, but $17. It's got a cheaper budget kind of steel on it. But for what, I want to try out, I'm going to try some more expensive knives, try some budget knives, middle of the road, and then the bottom of the line. This is like, I'd call it a step above a $5 gas station knife. Like I said, the steel isn't great, but if you're just got something in your pocket, you want to open boxes and you're not really carrying that much, not bad. Really not bad. I have so many awesome knives I don't want to carry, so I'll never probably get to it, but it's something to check it out. I can talk about it, see what the knife world has to offer. There's so many options and so many different prices, and you kind of want to explore and experiment with all of them and see what you like and what works good for you. Civivi Mini Asticus with Damascus. I think I've had this one, probably one of the longest ones I've had. I might not even dye this one. I kind of like the way it looks just as is. But these are the knives currently in my possession for the project. I can't say that I don't have more ordered. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But these are the ones that I have currently ready to dye. We did just take apart that Phemius. So I've got these scales ready to go. That's going to be my next video. It'll be part 2. And we'll see how we go. Any suggestions anyone would like to make for the colors on these? I am welcome and open to it. Show you a couple of the colors we've done already. Here's the purple Gobi by CJRB. That turned out really neat with the accents. Most recent one is this blue, fail, Kubey Phemius, which is kind of a neat, kind of a teal blue. It was kind of this color too. It's not significantly different, but I don't know. Sometimes a subtle change is all it takes. Really neat. Like, for example, subtle change, this send cut I did in the yellow so you could see through it, still see through the scales and see the inner frame and stuff, the workings of the knife. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, but trying different things. Oh geez, fails all day on camera. It's fun to try different things, even if it is a subtle change. It's still unique. It's the only one really that looks like this, and so you can kind of make things your own. It's Brazoria with the orange. Turned out really nice. Kind of, it also makes the details pop a little bit more. Of course, we have the Civivi Vision FG. This was white and I did it in red. Super happy with the way it turned out. I love it. I love this knife. I love the super lock. I'm a lefty, so anything that is like ambidextrous and designed to work the same in the left hand as it does in the, even did it worse on the right. But yeah, love the super lock, love the shark lock. This is a great knife. Glad that I dyed it. Really fun. I can show you one more here. We got the CJRB feldspar and some blue. You can see the kind of how that makes the details kind of stick out a little bit more on the scales. It's fun. Yep, here we are. Wait. I was going to pick up, show you the knife that we did today. And it is not one of these. Silly boy. All right. Let me pull this back down real quick. We did take apart this Kubey Phemius today. It's all good to go, ready. Tune in for video number 2 for the second half of this process for this knife, and we'll die this up, and then we'll get her put back together, check it out, and see how it goes. Hope everyone's enjoying the die videos. Let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, or whatever. And if you enjoy what you see, hit the like button and subscribe so you can see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.